Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the back office. You know I like my retro style game controllers and I don't really mind the wires too much. We're used to having the wires and these are the USB versions. But when I saw this on the internet, this is the 8bitdo NES30 wireless Bluetooth games controller. iOS, Android, Windows, standard Bluetooth. I just couldn't resist. So I've picked this up. You can see I've had a little play with it because sometimes I unbox these and I haven't had a play and I make some assumptions to you guys on whether or not it's good or not. So I thought I'd actually give this a go beforehand. And I have to say I'm reasonably impressed with it, actually. If you use it as a standard wired controller, that's fine. That just works exactly as you sort of use a normal controller in your Windows machine. Adding the wire does give you another benefit to your desktop PC. It allows you to install the firmware updates onto this and also remap the buttons. And the button remapping is important because if you're using on an iOS device and probably, an Android device for sure, maybe an iOS, these actually can map to keys. So these can map to different buttons or keys. So you'll definitely need that because it just doesn't always work outside the box. And if you look in the manual, does go into some detail on these things because you have these, look, touchscreen mode and mode 1, 2 and 3. Look, this is how you sort of switch between them. So mode 1 is joystick. Mode 2 is Bluetooth and keyboard. Mode 3, arcade, which is something, I don't know, arcade. Mode 4, MU screen. And mode 5, USB joystick. And that's all achieved by those various ways of holding down the start and B, start and A, start and X. Complicated. See, it's complicated enough, but you'll get that with Bluetooth things because they have to just sort of work with all these systems. So if you see here, this is the sort of pairing mode about entering the 0000 and the usual stuff. I don't remember actually doing any of that. I kind of think it just appeared as a keyboard when I tried it out and it sort of worked. If you use this sort of mode 4, you need some of their app because it does basically the sort of virtual on-screen remapping stuff. But that's aside. Don't worry about that. You'll figure it out and fiddle with it. But just know it's not quite the out-of-box experience that you might be expecting. Comes with a keyring. Look, an FC30 keyring. I shall certainly be wearing that so that other people in the FC30 club can hang out with me. Although this is a NES30. The FC is the Famicom one, which is the red coloured, of course. And you will notice that there's plenty of buttons because, yes, it's indeed mapped exactly like a SNES. So you've got the shoulder buttons and the extra Y and X buttons. That's actually really great because that means you can play arcade titles and Neo Geo titles pretty easily. You've got all the buttons you need and it's sort of pretty good for Street Fighter. In fact, I kind of think a wireless Bluetooth SNES controller is probably better, but this is kind of more retro. And this thingy, this is a weird old thing, isn't it? I think essentially it's some sort of a case, but yeah, I don't know really when you'd want to use this. It certainly seems to have difficulty fitting in that direction. I think it's more like a kind of a docking station, like a back on it. Very odd, isn't it? I can't think of a use case. It's got cutaways for it so you can sort of continue to have that there charging. I don't know if the idea is you're supposed to stick that to something just so you've got it there. But I would think it would be quite nice to have that way around so that you could just sort of keep that in your pocket without getting the screen scraped up. So it's very odd. I think 8bitdo have missed a trick. In terms of actual functionality though and doing its stuff, yeah, it feels about right. It feels kind of clunky, but NES controllers did always feel sort of square and clunky, and it feels just like them really. Pretty good for playing your emulated game, Super Mario Brothers, but yeah, I'm just not sure I can get on with those sharp corners. I like that. I like that smoothy, groovy sort of feel of these. So if you're looking around, I don't know how much they actually retail. I got this for about £18–19, but that was on eBay, so you might have to look around. I should think they'll be about the £20 mark. Dear, yeah, just a little bit. I have had cheaper Bluetooth joysticks, which are probably the same thing under the hood, really. But yeah, it does work okay, and at least it is a brand. And I did actually install a firmware update for this, so it is being supported. Hope that's been of some use to you. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe. And as ever, thank you for watching.